Okay, today I'm going to be making a homemade lemon curd. I have my sugar over here off to the side, and then I have my lemon zest. This is the zest from about maybe 4 lemons. Actually, that's exactly what it is. There's 4 lemons, and then I've cut them in half, and then I'm going to juice these. So I already have my little top of my juicer in a bowl. And then I'm just going to juice all the lemons, get everything out. So that's the process that I'm using. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I've juiced all my lemons. So what I'm going to do now is take the lemon juice, because I need 3/4 of a cup, but it has a lot of pulp in here, even though I found these lemons at Whole Foods, and they're seedless lemons, which is awesome. So I'm just passing the juice through this mesh here. Normally I use this mesh from when I'm doing kombucha or I'm making special blend coffees, but it's very, very good for filtering out the pulp from different fruits and stuff. Also, when I use this for when I make my homemade cranberry juice and other fruit juices, which is basically like well, I call them juices. They're more like fruit teas. I guess that's a better way to say it. But I just need to finish letting this drain, and then I'll be back in a little bit. Just to show you guys how I get the juice out, and just flip the pulp over, move it from the mesh, and then once it gets to be all pulp, then I'll just give it a squeeze to get the final juice out of it. I won't throw the pulp away. I'll actually use it and make a lemonade, because I actually don't mind pulp in lemonade, but in orange juice I don't like pulp. But then, you know, oranges you really can't have with low carb and keto. But sometimes I'll still use it, because you can use the actual peel and you can zest it to flavor different foods and baked goods and stuff like that. The pulp of an orange, so you can have a little bit of orange flavor, and I rather use actual oranges than artificial flavors, because sometimes artificial flavors have just as many carbs as the real stuff. So if you can use the real one, why not? But anyway, that's basically it. This way, I'll just give this a little bit of a squeeze. Juice that we have, and like I said, I need 3/4 of a cup. Well, that is perfect. So it took me squeezing 7 lemons to get a 1/4 cup. Now, had I gone to Winco and got the huge lemons that I normally get, then it probably have only taken me like maybe 4 of those, possibly. But anyway, let me get started on the next step, and I'll be back. Okay, I have all my ingredients ready and set to go. I have my sweetener, my egg yolks. Well, it's not just the yolks, it's the entire egg. So sweetener, eggs, lemon juice, and lemon zest. Let me get this out the way for just a moment, because I want to talk about the sweeteners that I have in here. This is a combination of allulose, erythritol with monk fruit, and the Bocha sweet. When I use just allulose, it really doesn't sweeten anything. It's basically really great for caramelizing different things, or making your caramel, or making like the topping that goes on top of flan, you know, so it browns very well in that regard. But to get something kind of sweet, you may have to blend different sweeteners. You can't use too much sweetener because then it may act as, you know, something that will cause you to be running, you know, to the restroom quite often. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. We're not talking potty talk. We're making food, something delicious. Lemon curd today. So let me move this to the side, get the pot going, and then I'll be back to show you guys what this looks like. Okay, I have everything on medium low. We're going to go ahead and combine everything. So that's the lemon juice. Put in the zest. Let me get a fork so I can whip in the egg yolks. Just so you can see. It's best to incorporate the eggs while the mixture is cold because you don't want this to be hot and that'll start cooking your eggs. So you want this to come up to temperature. And the reason why I'm making this lemon curd is back home in Louisiana, there was this company called Hubie that made these awesome fried pies. And I loved the lemon pie that they had. But the lemon that was in the pot was so thick, but yet delicious, and of course, full of tons of sugar and carbs, of which I can no longer have. So I'm attempting to do my own version. So I'm using my best pastry skills that I have in order to come up with that. Mind the bubbles out the way, but this is what that's looking like. Isn't that a beautiful color? Okay, so let me go ahead and get the sweetener in. Also in the sweetener, I put 2 grams of guar gum in here. So when you mix the guar gum into the sweeteners, or even if this was like some type of other baked good, possibly like when I get to make the dough for these pies, because I'm going to need a really thick dough for frying. So the guar gum will go in here a lot better at this stage of cooking without having to create some type of residue on top or not mix all the way into the filling. See, look at there. You see no residue whatsoever. It went right in, and that's what I love about guar gum. Oop, did I make a little spill? Where'd it go? So I'm just going to constantly be stirring this until it starts to thicken. Actually, I'll use my fork and whip it a little bit more because I see some parts of the egg white that didn't incorporate very well. So I'll be back once this starts bubbling and thickening to show you what that stage looks like. Okay, it's starting to thicken. And I want it a little bit thicker than what it currently is. Now the great thing about this particular curd is this is awesome for a lemon meringue pie as well. So if I wanted to add in a little bit flour as I'm want it to be a lot thicker and to make it be more firmer so it can actually withstand being in pie form as far as filling goes. Oh, that is awesome right there. So, but a little bit of flour will help this be a better pie filling. So you will make your pie crust, and then you will add a little bit of flour into this here. I will also say put the flour in with the sweetener and the guar gum at the beginning. See, that is awesome right there. That is nice and thick. And the flour will help it stiffen up and stay firm for when the pie actually cools down, so you can have good even or good clean cuts of pie. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cool. And what I have going back here is another pot. I'm gonna heat up the jars that this will be stored in. I don't like putting hot mixtures into cold jars. So I have this jar here, and I have a bigger one. I'm thinking that it's going to be put in this one. That's quite a bit of filling. So I'll be back and show you guys what it's like when I put it into the jar. Okay, here's the jars that I was talking about. They're in this boiling hot water. And as you can see, the steam rising. I mean, they're really hot, but I'm using my hands, but that's only because I've been cooking for years and years, so I've become accustomed to picking up hot things. So it'll be hot for some, but not really hot for me. So I'm gonna get these dried off, and then I'll put the curd in. Okay. The curd here. That look like. See, that would not have fit into this little one here. But since I've already sterilized it, yeah, that little one's going to get something put in it today. But that's the lemon curd. And then I'll just let this sit here in the open container. You know, and it'll cool off just a little bit more before I put the top on. The top has been sterilized as well. Well, that ends this episode of lemon curd. I'll come back some other time. Well, actually, there's a small video that I have put online of my not too sweet strawberry jam. I'm actually going to make a little bit of that because I'm going to be making a strawberry frozen yogurt today. I've done plenty of ice creams, but I have yet to do a frozen yogurt, so I'll be attempting that today. I may actually go ahead and record that. But anyway, the lemon curd, it tastes wonderful to me. I don't like to show myself tasting the food because, like I said, I'm not trying to convince you to try any of my recipes. I believe they're delicious, and other people have told me that they are too. If any of you have tried them, then I hope you think that as well. You can always leave me comments about if you tried one of the recipes and how it tasted. I don't get offended. I'm not easily offended. Your opinion is very much appreciated. So if you think that it needs to be a little bit sweeter, then go ahead and make it a little bit sweeter for yourself. But like I said, I try not to add too many of the artificial sweeteners if I can help it. Sometimes some things just require, especially with cocoa powders and such. But anyway, I think the lemon curd is fine as is, because the pie that this is going to go into, the fried pie, will have a coating of powdered sugar or glaze on the outside. So that's all I have for you guys today. Enjoy this recipe, and I'll see you when I see you.